Hello, I'm Sydney Harp, and my group and I are going to be presenting on culture, communications, and negotiation. Our mock negotiation is going to involve the Russian ambassador to Germany as well as a German diplomat. They're going to be discussing about a trade agreement on gas. Russia wants Germany to stay as a strong trading partner with them, while Germany is intending on reducing the amount of gas that is getting from Russia in support of Ukraine during the war. Russia, or a Russian ambassador, is going to try to establish a trusting atmosphere by being ambiguous. She comes from a high context culture, so she's going to put an emphasis on the relationship between Germany and Russia. She will also propose an extreme bargain to Germany, as well as approaching this negotiation from a distributive standpoint. And she wants a clear decision at the end. And with that said, I'm going to pass this to Emmy.
When looking at the German negotiation tactics, we do see a few similarities between Russia and Germany, but mostly differences. A similarity would be that neither of them prefer to express emotions, and they take meetings and negotiations very seriously. The differences would be that Germany does not participate or start any small talk. They just prefer to get straight to the point. They're also rational, or they require rational explanations. So if something is, can be assumed, they don't like that. They want you to spell it out. They want you to explain it to a T. And this is because they are heavy analytical thinkers, and so they pull and pick everything apart, and they want to make sure that they have a full grasp on everything. So the negotiation type that you will see in our following video is distributive negotiation. It is in a professional setting, and it is held between a German representative, which is the German diplomat, and then a Russian representative, who is the Russian ambassador. The meeting takes place in Germany, and it is just a one-time meeting. They discuss for just a few moments, and then an agreement has been made.
Good morning, Ms. Wagner. It's very nice to be doing business with you today.
And good morning to you, Ambassador. Now, let's get straight to business.
Absolutely. I hope that your economy is thriving due to your new chancellor taking office.
Yes, Germany's economy is thriving, but we have some things to discuss, so let's get to the topic.
Oh, absolutely. It is to my knowledge that our nations have a conflict of interest at hand.
Yes, this is true. Germany is intending on reducing the amount of gas that Russia provides to us.
And I regret to hear that. If I may ask, what is the rationale behind this intention?
Well, due to recent events occurring with Russia and the hostility towards Ukraine, we are not in support of it.
See, it is true that we have a conflict with Ukraine, but I'm just wondering, since Germany and Russia have had a strong trade relationship, what does the conflict between Ukraine and Russia have anything to do with Germany and Russia?
Yes, good question. Well, if Germany were to continue to do business with Russia, then it looks as though we condone your violence towards Ukraine, which in fact we do not. And frankly, our relationships with the Netherlands, France, and the United Kingdom are of much more value than our relationship with Russia, and we cannot afford to lose those.
I see. So it seems as though your reputation seems to matter more in the West than it does in Russia, which is very disappointing to hear. Now, another factor that I wanted to go over with you is that it seems as though our price of gas seems less desirable to you than nations' prices of gas, which are not at war at the moment.
Yes, this is true. Nations that are not at war, their price gases are more desirable, considering the fact that Russia seems to be sabotaging their own pipelines.
That is an absurd idea that we would sabotage our own pipelines. Nord Stream 1, in particular, has been operating for over a decade. It would need maintenance, and that is why Russia has had to shut it down. Besides, it seems counterproductive for my nation to sabotage a pipeline, which is one of our greatest economic assets.
Now, it does seem absurd, and Germany knows how important this pipeline is to you. But we also know that there's a little anger towards us because we are in support of Ukraine at this time.
If my nation is so angry with Germany for supporting Ukraine, then why did my president send me over to Germany to make the German people an offer they cannot possibly refuse?
Interesting. I would love to hear this offer that I cannot refuse.
Well, Nord Stream 2 has finished its construction last year and is now ready to operate. Gas will be supplied directly to Germany, and since it is so new, it will not need any maintenance for quite a bit. All that is left is for your Chancellor to unsuspend the certification of operation.
And what do you have to offer in return for this unsuspension of operation?
Germany will be paying 25% less than the price of gas, which was before the war. Now, this seems more than fair to me because we will be dealing with all the operations. You get to receive the supplies and at an extremely discounted price. That seems more than fair to me for the German people.
I will agree with you on that. This offer does sound too good to be true. Now, how does Putin plan on informing my Chancellor of his decisions?
President Putin will talk to your Chancellor about the details once he knows for sure that Chancellor Scholz is considering this idea. And only you can bring this idea to him.
Now, I do understand that the German people would love to pay less for their gas. However, we are not willing to give Russia any more power than they already have. I regret to inform you, but I will not be informing my Chancellor of this offer because I know he will already say no.
The German people are struggling with inflation, and you would be doing a major disservice to them by refusing this deal.
I have to disagree with you. The only disservice that would arise from this offer would be the disservice that I give to Europe, because we would be giving you more economic influence. Now, thank you for meeting with me today, but I have to say on behalf of Germany, I will not be taking your offer. Have a good day.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about the negotiation tactics and behaviors that we can see between Russia and Germany in the video that we just watched. Russia and Germany both share that they're distributive in their approach to this negotiation because they have two different goals. Russia is trying to gain more power in Europe, while Germany is trying to avoid Russia gaining any more power than it already has. The rest of their tactics and behaviors differ completely. So while Russia is extreme in their bargaining, you hear them threatening Germany, saying that their citizens would, meaning Germany's citizens, would suffer if they didn't take the deal. You see Germany not being extreme in their bargaining while they sit back and listen intently. You also see that Russia is very expressive. Russia is unexpressive. They sit back and sit stiffly, while Germany is very expressive, talking a lot with their hands in their face, and being expressive in that sense. Russia avoids confrontation by implying things and asking lots of questions, while Germany is confrontational. They're very blunt and explicit, just come out and say what they're there for. Russia is effective or their trust style is effective, believing that relationships is enough to persuade a deal, while Germany is cognitive in their trust, while they're able to see through the deception and see how Russia is trying to slip by a bit. Okay, now verbal and nonverbal communication. So Russia works indirectly, so they attempt to make small talk in the beginning, while Germany is like straight to the point, just wants to sit down and get to business. This is because Russia's working on fostering a relationship. They think that's what's going to make their deal, while Germany is working more directly and wanting to quickly get to the point and discuss their business. You can clearly see how Russia speaks slowly and in long sentences, and Germany speaking quickly and trying to get to the point. This also supports the direct and indirect styles that the indirect, Russia being indirect and Germany being direct, their styles in communication. Something noticeable about Germany, I don't know if you noticed it, but she was holding her thumbs like this. It's kind of hard to see. But that is, in Germany, that's a kind of a professional position to be in. And it's also supposed to bring on good luck. And also knocking on the table at the end of the deal is signifying that the deal has been made and that that is the end of the conversation.
When looking at the cultural, societal, and religious values for both Russia and Germany, we come across some similarities and some differences. Looking at the cultural, we have Russia's high uncertainty avoidance, and we also have Germany's low power. Both of these are similar in the fact that they both want to have certainty in knowing what's going on and why they're doing it when they're making important decisions. The big difference between the two is going to come when we look at how Russia's collective and Germany's individualism values. Russia's going to want, they're more of like a for the group. They want to know what's the best for the group as a whole, whereas Germany wants to know how's it going to benefit each individual within this. And the only way this is really going to affect the negotiation is that when Russia is proposing to Germany, they're going to have to make sure that they have the details on not only the group aspect, because that's where they see it, but also the individual aspects within the negotiation to satisfy what Germany is looking for.
How values influence negotiation. A lot of conflicting values lead to an unsuccessful negotiation. Russia likes to beat around the bush, and Germany is all about details and getting stuff done. Russia loves to have the most power, and Germany does not have as much power as them. Russia is very for the group and making sure that all people within the group are well kept up and working together well. Whereas Germany is self-motivated and more about individualism before the group. It's very hard for Germany to negotiate with Russia because of how powerful they are and how careless they are. When you negotiate, you cannot have a mindset of a win-win because there's always going to be a deal made in someone's favor.
Today, I'll be talking about necessary leadership competencies and characteristics. Competencies in negotiation are those that facilitate agreement between parties in divergent interests. These tend to be soft skills, like the ability to communicate, plan, strategize, persuade, and work together effectively. Therefore, leaders engaging in these negotiations should have skills such as sound judgment, as this will facilitate in enacting necessary actions. Necessary leadership competencies and negotiations include see differences, that's listening and awareness, adjusting framework of negotiations, making connections that strengthen the relationship between both countries, relationship interest in flexibility, and stress management. Thank you.